All right, we'll go ahead and get started with a few questions from Zoom. We'll come into the room and take some questions. We'll finish up on the Zoom. We've got about 10 minutes with the players. We'll go ahead and get started here. Percy Allen, go ahead.
Just for either of the players, just your thoughts on just that fourth quarter. Was it something that they did on defense? Was it some type of a switch there, or was it something else?
Yeah, I think they had fire and we gassed out. I think we didn't step up the energy in that fourth quarter. There are many reasons, but a team like that, you can't, there's no way you're winning the game with the 2-point quarter.
And then just after a strong finish, a strong start for the first 3 quarters, and then to sort of have a finish like that, just as you go into game 2, what positives do you take from this game that can help you on Tuesday?
I think we're just gonna have to go back and watch film and see what worked and see what didn't, see where we cracked. It's kind of hard to think about it right now. I'm still kind of in shock after that fourth quarter, but we'll see what worked, we'll see what didn't. Obviously there was a way we were getting shots in the first quarter that we weren't in the fourth, so we're gonna see what was different.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thank you, Masvidal. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Gabby, you talked about it, that just, you're kind of in shock. So what then is the process in the next 24 hours? Do you just kind of right now put this game to the side and then get back at it? I don't know when you practice, I'm sorry. Is that kind of how you move forward on this thing?
I'm not putting this game to the side, not at all. There's obviously a lot of things that we need to learn from this game. So like I said, we're gonna watch this game, we're gonna watch every minute, every second. We're gonna see what went wrong. We did do a lot of positive things, so how can we build on that as well? So no, we're absolutely not putting this game to the side.
Right. And then Nneka, just in terms of the energy, what needs to happen for you all to bring that, the mindset? I mean, can you?
Is that your question?
The question was, yeah, well, what exactly needs to happen in terms of the mindset? You said that, was it just because you're out of gas and then so the energy was gone from there? And then how do you cultivate that energy for the upcoming game?
Well, today we experienced a great start, which is, to me, has been our Achilles heel the whole season. And so we have to be able to finish, we have to put together 4 quarters of high energy. And that's a mindset, not a skill set. So we're going to come in with that attitude.
Thank you.
You're in the room. Kareem, go ahead.
Hey, y'all, sorry, I'm stuck behind the thing. But just curious, kind of, what was the conversation kind of amongst you guys in that fourth quarter as you're trying to figure a way to get out of it?
I can't lie, I didn't say anything. I was trying to catch my breath. That's just really what I was trying to do. But looking back, I could have said something. I think everybody was just trying to stay calm.
Let's go back to Zoom. Christian, go ahead, and then we'll have Alberto.
My question is for Nneka. After scoring 13 points in that first half, I think in the second half you didn't score. In those double teams, Vegas was throwing at you. I was kind of wondering what you were seeing as far as players not really moving, taking available of the actions, or just not really taking available of the space.
It got crowded in the second half, last week I was hitting my shots and they started crowding me. Same thing happened today. But there's still shots that I could have made in the second half. I think I was rushing them a little bit, maybe being a little bit more patient reading the defense, but I try my best to do that and then still get the ball out when there's a crowd.
And I was wondering, could you just speak to the importance of Ezzie McBeggar? Because a lot of these backdoor cusses Vegas is eating on through the first half and then the second half. She allows you to kind of stay home or vice versa as far as the defensive scheme.
Wait, what are you asking?
The importance of Ezzie McBeggar in kind of games like this, because she allows your defensive scheme to kind of flourish the way it usually has all season. And, without her there, you kind of not really having a lot of help in the paint.
You want me to answer that? I feel like you kind of just did, right? She's the closer. you know, like, yeah, she's a big piece. She's a big, especially on defense, she's a big defensive piece that we miss. And we have to fill those gaps some way, somehow. Playing defense is definitely different without her, but we have to figure out how to do it. But we do miss her.
Berta, go ahead.
Hi, can you talk a little bit about Jordan Horston, her role today and how she can help with the energy part towards the end, in the next matchup?
I mean, she showed a lot of growth today. Being able to be big in those moments. This is her first playoff game ever, and I thought she had a lot of clutch moments. In a game where we're down people, a game where we have, you know, the starters playing a lot of minutes, it's huge for us to just have that burst of energy off the bench. And I thought she was on her role today. I thought she did what she needed to do. And I think this is going to give her a lot of confidence going into game 2.
Thank you.
Bella, go ahead, Bella.
Yeah, sort of in that same vein, could you talk about Sadie's performance today, how that helped you guys defensively and rebounding, but also maybe how difficult it is to go from playing not very minutes during the season and then suddenly you're playing starting 30 minutes in a playoff game and sort of the difficulty of that?
I mean, I think one thing that Noe always makes clear is that it's next woman up. You know, you never know when your name is gonna get called, and Sadie's has stepped up to the plate this last couple of weeks. I'm not surprised at all by what she has done in these last few games. She might be like the smartest player on our team. And her wisdom is something that lends to great spacing. It lends to understanding schemes and making changes in the middle of the game. And, you know, it's not easy to go, you know, to double your minutes in such a big way. But I think she's doing a great job of holding her weight and helping us.
Thank you.
Nikias, go ahead.
Just a quick one for Gabby, if that's okay. You were very disruptive at the nail, particularly in that first half. The Aces tried to counter with more cutting behind that in the second half. Just how difficult is it to kind of balance those type of responsibilities with where they were starting some of their actions?
Yeah, it's hard because they have so many players who can score as well as they do pass. So sometimes, you know, you think you can help a lot because, you know, a player has a tendency to shoot. But when you have a player, you know, specifically like a Chelsea Gray, who's just as good as a passer as she is a scorer, it is difficult because you have to pick and choose your moments to help. So again, that's something that we'll go back and film and see where we can be better on the backside, what kind of adjustments we can make to kind of counter that. But yeah, I mean, Vegas is a great team. There's a reason that they've won 2 championships in a row. So you can't help too much, but if you don't help, then, you know, we got to handle our one-on-one as well. So yeah, we'll go back and watch that on film.
Thank you.
Got time for a few more in the room. Go ahead.
This is for either of you. Was there something that they did different in the second half in regards to catching a burst, or was there something you guys broke down defensively wise?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it's something that they did differently, but like a team like that, you can't relax, you know? And I feel as though there were moments where we relaxed, especially in the fourth quarter, or not really relaxed, but, you know, we struggled to find our burst. And that's a team you can't, you know, that's just a team you can't do that against. And Noe said it at halftime. She said, if you turn it over, it's buckets on the other side. And so that's something that we don't take lightly at all, but we have to find ourselves in those moments.
All right, that's all time we have for the players. We'll have Coach Quinn in here in just a moment.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Good to see you playing. Oh, thanks, Caroline. Thank you.
Coach, a couple of questions regarding just kind of like a reflection by you from the first half to the second half, right? Particularly from a defensive standpoint. You in the first half, tremendous start, right? Able to kind of impose your will, but then the second half things kind of switched up. Just kind of a couple thoughts on that.
The MVP'd. I mean, it's not a lot that you can do. I thought that those were tough contested shots. She's the MVP for a reason. I thought that Hayes got loose, not only in the second, but in the first. And I just, you know, it's tough. I thought that our defensive effort was there. You can't have a 2-point quarter, period.
Sorry, once again, I picked a terrible seat. Just in that fourth quarter, what was kind of the conversation that you were having with the team to try to kind of get out of that funk or find something different when obviously shots weren't falling and things were getting tough?
I mean, again, it's, you gotta remain steadfast in the fact that we had 2, but they had 14. So we're actually doing something decent defensively, though it didn't feel like it. And then offensively, try to get in some flow, which is difficult to do when we're taking the ball out the net. I would have to watch film and kind of look at schematically what happened on the offensive end. I thought, a couple of shot clock violations, some good looks. At the end of the day, just trying to, score, stop, score, string a couple of those possessions together, and we were unable to do that.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about what Hayes was able to do, especially in that second quarter, as well as you were defending everybody else? It just seemed like she was able to get free, and you coached against her and a long time, and just her coming back this year and being able to do that.
Yeah, she was able to get to her left hand, and she, it's difficult when she's able to hit the 3 as well. So now you're kind of wanting to play certain gaps on her and kind of becomes figure poison at that juncture, especially when she is in rhythm. And I thought that we were not physical enough. She was getting downhill again to the paint, I believe 30 paint points in the second half. Is that correct? For the Aces. And she was a big culprit of that.
Go to the Zoom, Percy, start us out, and then Masvid after that. Percy, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, just after a fourth quarter like that, how do you maybe guard against any carryover to the next game?
You can. You have to have short-term memory. The only thing that we can do with such a short turnaround is to get better through film and address, certain things in that capacity. This one's over. Can't get it back. We are in a situation where it's, do or die. Do we extend the series or do we go home? And so there is some reality to prioritizing, some rest a little bit. We have players playing big minutes, but this one we have to wash off our backs. Once we see the film, get better from the film. Now our focus is on Tuesday.
And then obviously this game just ended, but did you think it was the physicality that increased? Because that's something that you often point to. How was Jewel Lloyd in your opinion in this game? Did you see any rust in her game?
Physicality definitely was from the beginning of the game. I thought we matched and at some points exceeded that physicality. Yes, there are points, in the game, especially in the second half and in the fourth, it felt like they got more energized from the stops that they got, from the shots that they made. And a lot of those shots, again, tough, contested, just one-on-one coverages in that capacity. So physicality, I would say, I feel like we were pretty physical there. It's just, it's tough to go against, a team who is, it just comes at you in droves, and the runs that they string along is very difficult.
Thank you, Coach.
Let's go to Masvida, and then we'll go to Christian.
Thanks, Jeff. Hey, Coach, how important is ball movement against a team like Vegas? And did you feel that you had sufficient ball movement in terms of moving it around and finding that shot selection?
We had 15 assists. They had 16. I think when you get into a playoff situation, your superstars and your stars get into make a play. And so I thought that we understood where pockets of openings were going to be. We understood who we wanted to put in ball screens and our spacing. And so that lended to that. And I think I wasn't unhappy with our ball movement. Yes, it can improve, but we had 15, they had 16. Sometimes that game tightens up and you give the ball to who's cooking at that moment. And I thought that's what this game ended.
Shot selection, you happy with that?
Yeah. We just gotta hit him. Gotta hit him. I thought we got a lot of open looks. Just gotta knock him down.
Thanks.
Thanks, Boss. Christian and then Alberta.
Hey, coach, I know you say you have to watch film, but is there anything you can remember in those third quarter double teams from Vegas on Nneka that kind of like dispelled the offense?
I even think, Nneka's looks were good. I know she didn't hit him, but she's getting the same looks that she got in the first. But she played hard, first of all, and gave us her all. And so I'll take misses on the offensive end. What she had to do defensively for us was tremendous. Shots were a little bit short because of the effort that had to be played so much on the defensive end. And I think that came into play, but those are shots that I think if she got them again, would definitely hit them.
And I know the big picture aspect may kind of be like the last thing you want to hear, but 65-64 going into the fourth quarter, without arguably one of the best defenders in the league and as a McBagger, could you just speak to the importance of her play and about 714 points, the game might look a little different.
Sorry, you said Gabby?
Oh no, as a McBagger.
Oh, to have her back?
Yes, ma'am.
Very excited. To be able to put, add some rim protection to our defense if we have the same defensive effort that we had today in game 2, to add a little bit more presence, outside, inside. We're adding or all-star back to the mix. And so the thing is, I don't want Ezzy to come and thinking she has to be superwoman and have to do everything for us. I want her to be exactly who she's been for us all season and give us a lift.
Thanks, Christian. Alberta and then Nneka.
Hi, Coach. In the second quarter, Jordan shot 100% from the field. And then in the last quarter, the ball only got to her once. How can you, first off, can you talk a little bit about her impact this game and how she can get more attempt in important moments like that in the next game?
Oh, let's be clear, Jordan's #1 role is to be an elite defender. And everything else that comes with that is bonus and icing on the cake. I'm not saying that she can't score or that that's not important for us, because it is. Her ability to get downhill and when she's done with finishing around the rim. She hit a 3, I believe, today too. So there are things that she's worked on at a tremendously in this offseason to be in this moment. And I want to focus her in that aspect. And so, again, yeah, there are things that, we can do with the ball movement and all those things, but she's locked into her #1 role and we're better when she's in that pocket.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nneka, and then Bella to wrap us up. Nneka, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Just a quick question about the defense. It felt like the nail presence in particular was really strong in that first half. And the Aces were able to kind of counter with some early cutting, more empty side actions in that second half. I guess just in general, like, how do you kind of balance establishing those principles, that early presence, and giving a team like that the same look over and over?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about the last play, and I believe in the second quarter, the nail cut occurs from Jackie, and we know it's coming. We just have to be sharper in that area. Obviously, nail cut opens up a lot of things. It takes away help. It keeps you honest defensively. But it's difficult with a team like this who stretches you out a little bit. And you have to be strong at the point of attack. So in order for us to kind of negate what happens at the net or have to utilize the help, we have to be a little bit more strong into bodies, making sure we're guarding to it too, so that we don't overextend ourselves.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Bella to wrap us up. Bella, go ahead.
Just a super quick clarification, then I'll ask my actual question. Does the team expect to have Ezzy back for game 2? Is that what you're saying?
She's progressing, and that is the hope, yes.
Okay, and then my thank you. And my question is just, could you speak to Mercedes' performance today, particularly defensively, and really keeping you guys in the rebound battle, particularly in that first half?
I think that's the biggest thing, was the rebounding and the activity, and like you're pointing to the defensive effort. It was good to see her active, hands up, contesting, being in a lot of plays and finishing up plays with rebounds. I thought she got kind of hammered on some of those putbacks, those offensive rebounds, but when Sadie's is active and able to assert herself and utilize her size, or better.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, of course.
See everybody on Tuesday.
No problem.